Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning All Land. We are so excited to welcome LeeAnne Locken to the show, hot off Bravo's Real Housewives Dallas and gearing up for the season 4 release September 4th.
Yes, a little more than 2 weeks. Today, it's 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when the seasons are about to launch?
You know, there are a few words that I don't allow in my body. Nervous, scared. Nothing really makes me, what is it that I should really be nervous of? I mean, I've already done it. It's in the can. They're going to edit it the way they want to edit it. So it's my job to just live through it. And if you find yourself at a peaceful place where you're like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
What are you gonna,
yeah, it's not even in your control anymore.
It's not. Yeah. That's it. So I've recently, I spent a journey. Like season 1, I was the crazy angry person who like slapped a trolley, and, pushed the cameraman, and then every season you watch yourself and you're like, oh, LeeAnne. And every year I've just gotten better and better. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, if I can't control it and I can't change it, I'm just gonna release it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just stress. And I'm too old to be stressed out.
Let's take a look at the trailer for season 4.
Sure.
She was so beautiful and innocent. And I feel bad that she came from a pet store.
This season on The Real Housewives of Dallas.
We will turn away from the problems of the past and give the future a chance to become the best of friends.
All I know is when we signed that trust over, I know what was in there. Don't be stupid. I owned my situation.
Don't say camera in my face.
Oh my gosh. Faster! Can you beat them?
Girl, you better check yourself.
Sometimes you make me feel like I am not good enough.
You're not acting like a grown-ass woman right now. You're acting like it's your perspective.
She likes to give but she cannot take it. And I'm sick of people like that.
Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just not used to all this drama.
Don't kill anyone. Jail's not worth it, LeeAnne.
Yes. Oh, you're so
awesome.
funny.
That is
Jail's
awesome.
not worth it.
Jail's not worth
It's a great
girl.
meditation.
Yeah.
Right?
But did you see, like,
Yes.
at the end of the night, when everybody's insane, they've been in the pool, they're so drunk the next morning they need a bag of ice to open their eye. I'm like, it's okay.
So that's how you handle it on the show, but when you go home, how do you handle the inner, emotional turmoil that inevitably comes with something like this?
Honestly, I think for the first time this year, I've learned my new mantra is, don't let what other people say affect me. If it affects my life, if it puts my life in danger, if it affects me losing my money or my marriage, then it's okay to address it. But other than that, so you think I'm crazy? Ooh, okay. My mom had me tested. I'm not. I mean, I'm really good. I think the way I grew up on a carnival. I was born, I was raised on a carnival. And then I sort of got into, I've done everything, acting, modeling, Miss USA, Star Search. I mean, I've done it all. So for me, it's like I just roll with the punches. I'm like, look, what do you have? I'm going to take it, roll it, twist it, make it mine, and then redeliver it.
There you go. Like every great artist.
Tough skin, girl.
Yeah, I do have really tough skin, but I kind of had to. I mean, I think if anybody's watched the shows, I spent my childhood. My mother gave me to my grandparents when I was 2.5. She just didn't want to be a mom, and so my grandmother was kind enough to take me in, and then. I was like, as a child, I was sexually molested for 8 years by my best friend's father, and then I was almost murdered by my first fiance. So life has offered
Shaped
me
and molded you
plenty
of experience.
Yeah, that I'm just like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not today. Today's going to be great. Today's going to be fabulous. And that's why when you say the words like, I don't believe in words like afraid or scared, because I know what being nervous or being afraid really is. Like, truly, what do you have to be afraid of?
It's interesting you say that. So I love that you say this. When before I started coaching, I always thought of, the most blessed life being the most charmed one. Like the people that didn't face a lot of problems. And I realized it was just the opposite of that was actually a curse.
Yes.
Because when you have difficult things, and particularly difficult things like you've had, you grow from those things and you become a better person, a happier person, a more resilient person, and a wealthier person in lots of ways.
And the other thing I've become from going through all that is a very vocal person. Because so much of my life, so much of that, so many people when they struggle, hide it. because they're ashamed of it, and shame kills. So I refuse to be ashamed of what happened to me. Not like I went around as the 3-year-old kid going, hey, molest me, you know? I mean, it happened. Okay, so if you've survived it and you're struggling at this point in time, release it.
Yeah.
It's doing nothing for you. Talk about it. You had nothing to do with it. I'm a real big advocate in Dallas for a couple of wonderful charities. And I'm an LGBTQ supporter. I'm an animal supporter. I'm child violence and domestic violence. And those are my heartstrings that I refuse. An HIV status shouldn't mean that you're less than. It's 3 freaking letters. It doesn't change who you are or who God made you to be. And no one should try to make that be anything different, you know? We're each beautiful. We should accept and appreciate and respect that in each other.
I just love that.
That's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I have a little electricity in my body. And I can tell, but sometimes you hear people say, I'm happy and I'm this, and you look at their smile and you just know that that's not the truth.
They're not.
But you are.
I am.
You are very beautifully happy.
I refuse to be anything else.
Yeah.
I refuse to allow someone else's thoughts. Listen, I'm not saying that I don't on the show. There are moments like on the Thailand trip, believe me, I spent 2 solid hours in my shower crying my eyes out, hating every single one of my cast members because they were all coming for me. But at the same time, once I get through it, once I release it, I'm going to pick myself up and move forward. Because I don't want to stay in a place of uncomfort and distress and pain. I want to stay in a place of peace.
So moving forward, what's next for you? What else are you working on?
Oh, I love it. I just signed with a new manager out here, and I'm gonna get back into acting. I used to be an actress and a model, and I loved it. I was in the movie Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock, and I played Faye Dunaway's daughter in Rain, and I miss it. I just recently did a commercial for Bravo movie The Kitchen with Vicki Gunvalson and Sonia Morgan. And I mean, I would deliver a line and I'd just be like, God, I miss acting. Fun, you know? And then we walk out and all the people at Warner Brothers like, you're so good. And I'm like, I miss it. Thank you for having me do this. I just had so much fun doing this.
What do you love most about acting?
Being someone else.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah. I think it's such, I think what stops people from being successful is a lack of responsibility of being who they are and accepting who they are and discovering who they are. And you see that a lot on my Housewives show. There's a lot of my cast that have a difficult time accepting who they are. I've accepted who I am. I've accepted what I've been through, and I know what I'm capable of, and a tremendous amount of power comes with that.
And all that wealth that you have from just the way that you grew up and things with your mother, I mean, those are just great experiences to take with you and to just fill your empathetic body with for acting. That's really beautiful.
Oh, yeah, and to fill it on
really rich,
on Real Housewives. Yeah. The elephants we went to, that's an elephant sanctuary. And so when we're there, I mean, they're telling us all about what they do to elephants to make them workable with people. And it's, when you watch the show, you will see me. I cry. I go to an elephant and I touch it and I'm like, I want to love you. Like, I want to say, I'm sorry for every human that did anything wrong to you, because I relate to that. Yeah. I relate to what those elephants experienced. And I always want to live in that moment of being able to be authentically who I am and feel what I feel and then release it, you know?
I just love that. And you highlight something I think that's worth underscoring, which is that lots of times we think of resilience and strength as inflexibility or becoming hard. When it's not that, it's actually in some ways becoming more sensitive, but more flexible.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
When we open ourselves up to be vulnerable, to experience whatever's going to happen, is when we experience the most joy. And that's just it's a really hard thing to do, because you can't be vulnerable and in control.
In control. You got to pick.
And that's a tough one, because I'm a control freak.
Well, you do it beautifully. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your personal journey.
Definitely on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at LeeAnne Locken.
Thank you so much, LeeAnne. Stay tuned. Back tomorrow. Good morning, LaLa.
So nice.